just when you thought the world had acquired some common sense. Wait, did you really think that? First up in the trifecta of lack of common sense, North Korea has accused Washington of wanting to start a second Korean War. What? What? Are you serious? Apparently a North Korean ship suspected of transporting weapons was sailing off the coast of China with a U.S. destroyer close behind. No decision has been made to contact and inspect the ship yet, but North Korea has stated that that inspection, if it does happen, would be a declaration of war to them. Now, talk about a freaking hair trigger. This fuse on this bomb is getting smaller and smaller. North Korea is just looking for an excuse to push some buttons. But that's what happens when a country has little man syndrome. It would be like a midget coming up to me in a bar and headbutting me in the balls. If you think about it, that makes perfect sense. Don't judge my analogy. Needless to say, this whole North Korean situation is just a ticking time bomb waiting to explode at the drop of a pin, which brings us to Iraq. I didn't really have a link. Sue me. A bomb hidden in a vegetable cart went off in a crowded market in Baghdad today, killing 61 people. This attack was the third deadliest this year, and it comes less than a week before the deadline for combat troops to leave Iraqi cities under a new security pact. American troops pulling back from urban areas is the first stage in a full withdrawal by the end of 2011, but officials have warned that violence will likely increase during this time. So, what have we accomplished in the years that we've been in Iraq? No. I think we built a McDonald's and we pulled down some statues. While yes, it is true that many Iraqi citizens do support American involvement in Iraq, many more don't, and that's not likely to ever change. It's probably time to end this relationship pretty quickly. Well, this was fun. Yeah, no, I'll call you. Yeah, no, I'll call you. Don't call me. I'll call you. I'll send you an email or something. Yeah. Well, I gotta go. Now, on the third and final part of this trifecta, I know I'm going to get a lot of flack over it, so let me preface it just a little bit. I know that it sucks for onlookers to have to just stand there and do nothing while citizens of Iran are being held down and beaten, all because they just want their lives to change. Maybe it's because of my American bias, maybe it's because I'm just a human being, but I believe that mankind has the inalienable right to pursue freedom and happiness. But believe it or not, it's not going to happen in Iran right now. What many people don't seem to realize is that the Iranian elections are just one big show. They're just a way to keep the populace relatively happy and believe that they're involved in some kind of democratic process. The fact is that these elections are controlled by the supreme leader of Iran. No candidate opposing Islamic ideology can run, and the only candidates that are running are selected by the regime. A quote from an article by the World Press says that even if these candidates were involved in a fair election, their differences were, at best, varied shades of the same color. The protest of Iranian citizens against this election isn't about them wanting Mousavi as their president. It isn't about any of the things that the Western world normally thinks about when they think about protesting. I think that this protest is about the realization that democracy in Iran is a complete sham, and the type of freedom that they have isn't good enough for them anymore. Now, with all these things happening in the world, it's really hard to focus on the big picture. And that big picture is, the world is completely fucked up. I don't know if people focus on one thing in particular because they want to be blind to the rest of the things going on, or because they can't really mentally focus on more than one thing. Either way, there's more than just a handful of bad things going on in the world. And that hole I'm digging to hide in is looking like it's going to be packed full pretty soon. That being said, one of you better know how to steal cable, because I'm not just going to sit here with a game of Monopoly.